Please tell me I've got sound. Please, someone tell me. Oh, g'day, how are you? I'm Steve Hay. Welcome to Woodworking Masterclass. The what do they call it? Oh, the sharp end of technology today, I'll tell you. Oh, g'day, everyone. Look at this. It's alive with the sound of the chat room. Hang on, let me... Now my mouse does, don't you dare do that to me. Here we go. Panda go. John, my goodness, thank you, mate. And I hope you get a good night's sleep. Mate, perhaps I can bore you and you can go to sleep while I'm talking to you. Hang on, what am I doing here? I want that one there. Do I want that one? Oh, look at that. You can't see it, but I can. That's pretty swish. I'll put that there at the moment because I just want to try something. And, oh, look at that. Okay. All new gear, I'll explain in a minute. I've had an IT explosion. My brain has been, oh, well, it's doing stuff this old brain wasn't designed to do. I'll give you the drum. Fair dinkum. Oh, dear. So here we are. Panda, g'day. 3 Racing Monkeys. How are you, mate? Julian, good morning. Alan, happy Friday to you, mate. Are you working from home or something? Or are you sneaking this into the office? Mate, good to hear from you. Saw your test yesterday. You've been waiting, Julian, have you? Oh, dear, bless you. Yeah, I've missed it too. I have. I'll get into why I haven't been streaming for a while. There's nothing horrible or health-wise. It's IT-wise, I tell you. Oh... All of us old men getting educated. They have a t-shirt that said, old men. The old men do rule, mate. You wait until the internet crashes and people have to have their brakes fixed or their bearings greased or a tap washer changed or even have directions to the local supermarket because their iPhone doesn't work. Anyway, I'm very proud of myself because I've stuck with this for a few weeks. And I'm coming through the end. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel now, thank goodness. Was that a flicker I just saw? I better not have. Cost me a fortune to get rid of a flicker. I'll tell you about that in a minute too. Fed up, we're shut down. But hey, all those who shut down, good on you for hanging in there. And hopefully I'm going to start streaming. I can't guarantee I'll do 60 days. But I said the last stream, you know, I owe it to you people because you've stuck by me and I really want to get in there and give you some support back. So I've got a lot of great projects going. These are bee boxes that I've got to do. So while I'm chatting and prattling, I will glue the ends, but I'll just catch up on all this stuff. Oh, sounds good, Panda. A dresser out of, what did I get that before I jumped up? Walnut and red oak. Oh, very nice. A wood father. Dear, I'll tell you a joke about that, but I can't because it's family TV. My daughter-in-law said something to me the other day and it made me laugh. Hey, Brian, how long are you? Lie down, mate, I'll measure how long you are. I mean, how are you? Yes, it's been a long time. G'day, Jared. Oh, dear. Sounds okay. Thanks, Julian. Cost me enough money, it should be. Oh, what's your amazing news? You now got 12 horses. My goodness, look at that. I got coffee on. This coffee machine, he's been getting the work out. I'll give you the word. Well, that's good, John. What are they, rescue horses, race horses, or what? Delta, g'day, mate. More boxes. Yeah, like these native bee boxes here. No pun intended. They're flying out the door, which is really, really good. G'day, Matt from Southern Carolina. Sorry. Well, g'day back to you, Matt from Brisbane, Southeast Queensland, Australia. G'day, Andy. How are you, mate? Loved your message this morning. Thank you. Vince G, good to see you again too. I've been checking you out on Facebook, not stalking you, nicely checking you out. Doing some good work there too. Oh, mate, I'll get to this setup in a minute. Working from home but getting ready for another job, Alan. Crikey, you'll catch up to me soon. You only got about 30 to go. Oh, it's not rum and coke. It's coffee, double espresso. Oh dear, oh dear. Was the time I would have said this guy looks like my granddad, but now I looks my... Oh, thanks, Ken. Listen, I look in the mirror and think the same thing. And that's one reason I don't shave, because I don't want to shave my dad's face. I used to, bless his heart. In the latter part of his life, we were looking after him, and I used to go in there and shave him every morning. It was pretty cool. Supposedly time I had sleep, but well, you did say you were going to lay awake for me. Oh, Chad, good day, mate. Oh, this is terrific. Big DeVille, howdy from Texas, howdy from Brisbane. Or g'day, mate, from Brisbane. Julian, no, what you mean, woodwork learner, this is fun. Oh, that's sad. Honestly, your priorities are sad. But I appreciate it. I think that's lovely. Craig, good morning. Glad to see you back live. I'm glad to be alive too. Craig, that's good stuff. Dovetails. We should do one on dovetails later on. We might do that. All right. So what happened? What happened? I've caught up with everyone. Thank you so much. Hard energy out to you. And here comes a fat fella. He is too. But I can't do what I used to do because he's changed. Hang on, I'll see if I can. There we go. No, you going? What are you doing? You, come on, come here, show your face. But, oh, I'm not showing my face. No, he's camera shy. He's going right around the other side. There he is. He's going. Where's the food at, Dad? Where's the food at? What are we going to eat? He doesn't come down here that often. He's getting on, the poor old fella. And well, no, he's where is he? He's by the door. You can't see him, but he's by the door. So anyway, I'm going to shut the door because the air conditioner's on because it's raining outside and it's very hot and sticky and yucky. Oh, it's nice of you to come down, Bobo. Okay. Yeah, what happened? About 3 weeks ago, I went to do a stream in the wood turning shed, which hopefully all this stuff can transfer up there so I can do more. Brad, g'day, mate. Yeah, we do. We need a shop dog. He's a good one, isn't he? Hey? And for whatever reason, something or other happened and I couldn't get a microphone feed. No way in the world. So anyway, I thought, well, what I'll do, I'll come down here and do a stream. And I came down here to do a stream. Same thing. No microphone. So I ummed and ahed about it, and then I started looking, okay, well, I might have to go to a different platform because I use OBS. And I started looking at platforms, and they're anywhere from, I don't know, $400 a year up to $1,200 a year, which I don't mind if it's a good platform and it's going to work. And then I got talking to Theo, my dear mate here. Theo, if you're watching, mate, you're the cause of all this. And he has just switched over to this thing here. He's got the ATEM. I'm not going to touch it because it's not going to work. The ATEM mini broadcast setup. And then he said, oh no, he said, you've got to get the mini ISO. So I went and bought the mini ISO, and it goes in with my Stream Deck. And so with that, I can actually stream straight out of the Mini Pro. But it's not as easy as what they say. Oh, you can just stream out of it. No, not quite that easy. So I've been running around with that and trying to get everything up and running. And finally, it was silly things. Like one of the cables I've got, if I can find it. I was getting a lot of flicker in the streams, the test streams I was doing. And, oh, see if I can find the one. Here we go. Yeah, I was getting a lot of flicker through it. And I thought, you know, you pay that much money, you don't want it. And it was as simple as having a joiner in, this is a ATEM, no, it's a USB to USB, whatever that one is, to the C, so USB A to C. But I had a join in it. And I went and forked out the food money for the next 2 weeks and bought, I think it's a aluminium braided cable, fix the problem. Then there was another thing that it wouldn't recognise the microphone that I'm using here with a camera, which I've always used. It wouldn't read that, so then I had to plug a separate microphone here in the back. But I didn't like that because when I moved away from the shop, I didn't have sound. So, there's a lot of knowledgeable people online. Nearly all this stuff, I sorted it online. But I will preface that by saying there's a lot of people that don't know how to impart knowledge, or they assume, which you should never do, that you know what they're talking about. It's sort of like, oh no, no, this car, okay, this is a scenario. This car, I tell you what, it goes from 0 to 160 miles an hour, or, no, was it? 160 kilometres an hour, or 0 to 100 miles an hour, in 8.4 seconds. It's got a mini bar in it. You press a button on the steering wheel, and it will automatically give you a roast beef sandwich and a hot coffee. And that comes out of the glove box and it's served to you with a napkin. The other thing, you press this button here, and what it does, it gives you night vision at night time, and you can sleep and it will automatically drive, providing you put the directions into the GPS where you want to go. Terrific. And this is all great stuff. It's wonderful. I have one question. How do I get into the car? That's all I want to do. I can work the stuff out once I get in there, but where's the flipping door lock so I can get in? And that's like with this. I couldn't figure out how to turn it on. Oh, use the manual, press the button. Yep, there you go. Okay, start. Put in your IP address. Where is it? It's on the box. No, it's not. It's on the back of the gizmo. No, it's not. So I had to go over to Theo's, and he said, oh, you should do this, and plugged an internet cable, and boom, up my IP address comes. Doesn't say that anywhere in the manual. No one tells you that. Oh dear. And then, oh, this is how I've been playing with macros this morning. So soon, I'll be able to press one button. It'll make me a coffee, a roast beef sandwich, and I can stream, and all these will automatically get built by themselves. But, you know, there's people out there and they know a lot. Huge amount of information. But they start here. They don't start here. This is how you get out of bed. Put your slippers on. Put the cereal in the bowl. Put milk on it. Eat it by slowly chewing and swallowing. Go down to the shed. Sit down. Turn this on. Press this button. And this has to link with your computer. I spent a day and a half trying to get the thing to work, and it wasn't connected to the computer. They don't tell you to do that. Anyway, it's all really cool now. So the big thing is, before I was running, this camera's an HDMI, which I'm going to be a technical here. I actually broadcast in 1080p at 50 FPS. Which means it's a good camera and you get a clear picture. And if you can remember the cameras I used to have either side, they were webcams, Logitech 922s. A little bit grainy, especially when it came to editing, and I would blow things up. Whereas these cameras here, these are professional cameras, and in fact they're Sony NX70s, which they don't make anymore unfortunately, but they did the Duck Hour Rally with it because they're waterproof, they're dustproof. And if you've seen Theo's, he said he's not going to blow the dust off of his just in case it creates a crack and dust can get in there. So I'm running all these cameras here. Okay, they're all 1080p, so it's a good thing. But, here we go. Now, you can go to the machinery shop. I'll walk out there so you can see me. What are you doing, Bobo? See, look at that. I'm out here. There's a bit of Aussie clobber for him. He dries the bone because it was raining. And I can do machining, and then I can go over to the thicknesser and do thicknessing. I've got a drum sander over here, so you can see that. I've got, well, that's an oscillating sander. There's a drum sander. There's the thicknesser, and there's all another kit down there. But that means I don't have to give you all motion sickness like I used to before by moving cameras around. And then I can just come back in here, and whoops, there we go. I'm back here. And then I've got another one, which is over at the saw. So I can go over to the saw. At the moment, the saw table, you can't see it because it's got B boxes on it, and there's a vise that I've got to put on my bench. I'm changing all my bench vices over. And the docking saw. So we don't have to do that. The other one I'm waiting for, but I haven't got, is going to be an overhead, so I can get a direct feed overhead. So I've actually increased my camera opportunities to 6 cameras I can now stream with, which is pretty awesome, I think. Pretty happy with that. Now I've got to build a, what up, Bobby? You poor old fella. What's the matter, mate? No, you can smell hide glue, can't you? What was I going to say with that? We got that. Oh, yes, and I can also record 4 cameras directly on to my laptop, which doesn't affect the stream, but allows me to, don't you dare, does allow me to edit a lot easier. Okay, what are we doing there? So that's the state of the nation. Was that a rant? Oh, you want a rant? I'll give you a rant. I'll tell you the number one thing that ticks me off. Now you tell me. I mean, it's basic physics. It is basic physics. Here you go. I got a piece of wood here, right? I got another piece on the top, okay? Now, if I squirt a jet of water underneath there, it's not going to touch it, is it? Well, why is it when people fill the dishwasher up, they put stuff on stuff? They have bowls, and they turn the bowl upside down and put a plate on it. Just because it's in the dishwasher doesn't mean to say it's going to get clean. You've got to at least give the water half a chance to get to the surface to clean it. Oh, I tell you what, if I had $1 for every hour I spent rearranging the dishwasher, I'd have $20 by now. It amazes me. It really amazes me. The other day, one of my sons, he had a, what do you call them? Casserole dish. Casserole dish in there like that. Put a mug on top, only upside down. I'm not going to do that because I spilled my coffee. On top, I said, how do you think that's going to get washed? Well, I don't know, it's in the dishwasher. Oh, no. Oh, no. So it's my job. It's my job to do the dishwasher. Oh, thank goodness you don't have to spread clothes out, or I'll be doing the washing machine as well. Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, well, they'll put the soup ladle in. The soup ladle will go over the top of a coffee cup. No, the soup ladle's there. Coffee cup will go over the top. It's basic common sense. Oh, no, it's in the dishwasher. It's going to get washed. And they've actually pulled stuff out. I kid you not, yesterday. Pulled stuff out. I got a cereal bowl and it had more cereal in the bowl after it had been in the dishwasher than when I put cereal in there to have me breakfast. How does that work? Hey, is that clean? I don't know. Well, does it look clean? Well, it went through the dishwasher. Oh, for goodness sake, where's old man rule? That's it. I'm with you. Goodness sakes. Oh, and these are the people that are going to look after me in old age. I said I choose not to get old. I want to live. Oh dear, hang on. That's my pet peeve, dishwashers. I'll run out of water too. What's going on there? Oh no, I've got a bit here. Here we go. Oh dear. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I've cleaned the wood turning shed up. So hopefully I can do more streams from the wood turning shed. Here we go. Oh dear. Well, I've lost me whatnot. Here we go. The floor is fine. It is, isn't it? I'm impressed. New Year's resolution, I'm going to keep my shed tidy. Sort of. I hope. Oh, dear. I don't know if Thea might be streaming at the moment. I've got to go to his place later on and next week, I think. You want that car, the one that gives you the roast beef sandwich? Oh, dear. Okay. No, it's definitely not rum car. I'd be having the zuz by now, if it was. Tell you what goes nice with cold, strong coffee, though. Here you go. That's the business right there. I'd let you all have a piece if you were here. But you're not, so I'm going to eat it all myself. Yeah, no, we'll get some woodworking done, Vinny, maybe. The main thing is just to make sure that I can do all this stuff. Yeah, I'll show you, which camera will I use? This one, maybe. Wait a minute. On that one. Okay. That's one of the screens I've got up, which obviously is showing itself, which is a bit dumb. But, hey, how spacey is that? But this is what I get to see. I get to see all the cameras and what they're doing and all the sound levels, and I get a preview before I press it, and it's pretty high tech. What's going to happen if I press that one? Oh, that changes there. We'll go back to that because I know what I'm doing. But there you go. So it's all a huge learning curve. Hang on. Let me just bring this one back because we'll start doing some of this soon. As soon as I get organised. How do I keep my shop so clean I don't do any work in it? No, it's true. I have been slack of late, but I'm getting into a better process, and I'm just doing, I just want to make bee boxes and make videos. That's all I want to do this year. So at the moment it's working quite well. My bees are very happy. I've got some more hives coming. They don't like the rain. And what I'm going to do, they're native bees, Australian stingless native bees. They're a little bit bigger than an ant. I've got one on me. Oh no, that's an ant. There you go. There's an ant. That's about the size of the bees, actually. Can you see that ant over my finger? He's gone there. There he is. Whoop. That's about the size of the bees. And speaking of bees, here comes the boss. You can come and say hello on my...
Well, I would if I could get past the door.
He wants to get out. He's gone, Mum's here. I'm getting out because I'll get into trouble. Hello, my darling.
Hello, my love.
You can come here and you can say hello to everybody.
Hey, everyone.
See, look, I'll show you. Look, see, I've got all my cameras.
Oh, there you go.
That's it. I've been good. I didn't lose my temper, did I?
No.
Kiss me. Mwah. Hey, and one of my sons is coming up today too.
No, he's not.
Oh,
Next
no.
week.
Oh,
They've got a house inspection on Tuesday.
Oh, well,
that's what I come down to tell you.
He'd be busy all weekend fixing up broken screens and doing what he does.
So no, not till next weekend.
All right.
According to the girl.
Well, that's all right then. I can practice me pool. Hey, Bob's back. and Susie's you got back into making quilts, haven't
I
you?
have.
Yes, so we'll be doing more quilts.
Yes. I'm doing a mousy one at the moment.
A mousy for my new granddaughter. I don't know.
Mousy, what it...
I don't know. Have I told them about my new granddaughter? I think I might have.
No, I think you might have.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well, things are working here well.
That's good.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Some butterflies are happening in the same room.
There you go. You staying or going, Bob? No, I'm going. Can you let him out, though? Thank you. Oh, well, there you go. I was going to have one of my sons up here, but apparently now I'm not. Hey, Vegas! How you going, mate? Oh. Oh. Been a long while, boss, but I'm back on. It's good. Hope you're doing well. Oh, yeah, my bees. I want to put a camera on them for a couple of hours. It is incredible. As you saw, they're only little people, little insects. I was watching them the other day, and there's some sort of a flying insect that obviously they didn't like. Came and landed on the outside of one of their boxes. And as quick as you like, 3 of them came out, grabbed this dude by the wings and threw him off the box. I'd love to capture stuff like that. Did you come in halfway? Whoops, did you come in halfway through, boss? Oh, dear. Steve, the housewife. No, it's not the housewife. No, I just like clean dishes. Oh, good one. No, Vegas, because if it's upside down, all the water would run out on the floor. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh. I'm sure there's other things that tick me off. I can't. There you go, Matt. See, I'm not alone in the world. No, I don't mind dust, Vegas, but dust is good. You're right, Tanga. Common sense ain't so common. Now, definitely coffee. Came out of the coffee machine and I remembered to put a pot in it. Oh, well, I don't know, Andy. I'm not sure if the sewing sheds go now because the son I mentioned that was meant to be coming up, he's moving back to Queensland and he wants to follow the old man and get into making some stuff. So he did what I wasn't able to achieve. He scored the shed from Susie. Oh, Mum, see, youngest, you get spoiled. What can I tell you? But we'll still have to do some work on it, but I think it'll get done a lot quicker if it's going to be a woodworking shed than a sewing shed. Shh, don't tell the boss. Oh, dear, oh, dear. She's been and gone, hasn't she? She lost the mojo there for a while and couldn't get into it, but now she's back with a vengeance, which is good. Metal Ken Patchy, cheers from Trinidad. Well, thank you so much. Cheers from the Brisbane, Australia. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, the boss was in the shop, all right. Hey, Matthew, how are you, mate? Atia, hang on, I'll get it. Aditya, is that right? I used to watch your old YouTube videos and learned how to build from my apartment. Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, that was good when we had it in the house, but unfortunately that wasn't big enough for us to pursue it. So that's why I'm back down in the shed, but I'm pleased you enjoyed it. Thank you. Mentrail, what inspires your start to woodworking and how it went at the beginning? I would like to learn, and I see your videos, but I hesitate. Okay, what inspired me to do woodwork? I got the sack and I was unemployed. And I had to make some money because I had a young family and a mortgage. That's, I guess, how I started. And yeah, when I look back at my first ones, I got to tell you, they were pretty ordinary. And if I could find who bought some of my early pieces, I would happily refund their money and remake it. But you just build building blocks. My son, actually, the one I was talking about that wants to come up, yeah, he's doing the same thing. And I'm very proud of him. He had to go on the lathe the other day, and I said, well, wait until he gets to that point, and then I'll come back up. Well, he didn't. He kept on going, and I'll see if I can find it. I doubt if I can, because I can never find anything on the phone that I want. He made a dragon's egg. See if we can get it here. Why is it you can never find what you want when you want to find it? Don't want to add to my story. I just want to see what's happening. No, I don't think I can do it. I'm not that clever. Hang on, wait a minute. I can do it on the pooter, but, oh, what's this say? And I'm thinking of maybe doing, no, I can't find it, but it was the most fantastic dragon's egg. And because I wasn't there, he just went ahead and did whatever he did. I might start doing this while I'm talking to you. And he did it upside down. So, the way I would have done it was have the point of the egg pointing upwards, and he didn't. He had it pointing downwards. But it turned out so well, and what I'm going with that is it doesn't matter. Just get in there and have a go. And I think that the unfortunate thing is everybody's scared of failing and not getting it right. The only way you're going to get it right is by getting it wrong. And then you learn from that. A bit like this, all this computer setup I've been doing. I am not tech savvy, I tell you. And I had to learn all new words like macros and keyers and chromas and I don't know what else because I've forgotten. But you just got to get in there and have a go and be happy with the fact you're having a go. A friend of mine, Mark, if you're watching, mate, he used to say his grandfather used to tell him, whenever you try something for the very first time, say to yourself, this is the first time I'm going to mess it up, or words to that effect. And it takes so much pressure off you that you don't have to get it right. Just know eventually you will get it right, but along the way you learn so much, and it'll be so nice to just be able to take a shortcut. And I know how to do that, but by fumbling through and making mistakes, you learn what not to do. And then if something goes wrong, there's a fair chance you've already had it go wrong there before and you know how to fix it. Whereas a lot of people, they just want to get it right perfectly the first time, so they set everything up and they get someone to show them the exact right way. And then if they run into a problem, they're lost because they don't know how to fix it. They've only learned how to do it the right way. And just because you know how to do it the right way doesn't necessarily mean you're going to continue to do it the right way. How many of you, and I'm sure there's some out there, have done things and then 3 months later you go to do it again and you've forgotten how to do it, but you were very competent when you do it? The dovetails is one. There you go, Panda. Dovetails is one. I honestly think if I did dovetails, so I did them once a week, well, once every 2 weeks for 12 weeks, and I did it live and you kept those streams, I will guarantee I would do it in 12 different ways. Not because I'm clever, not because I want to show off, but because I've forgotten how I did them last time. But the thing is, I know the end result that I want, and I know steps to get that result. So it's not a question of knowing the exact process. It's not a question of knowing the exact technique. It's knowing or understanding the process that's required in order to get the end result. So my advice to you, if you want to start off in woodwork, just start. Doesn't matter. Bang some nails together. What I want to do, I was talking to someone earlier in the year about this. I'm going to put together a program and you will make furniture without even realising that you're learning how to make furniture. And all I do basically, each video or each project, I'm going to change 1 or 2 things, and you will see how easy it is to go from making something very, very simple to making something complex. There are 2 types of furniture. There's either frame furniture, which is chest of drawers, chairs, what else we got? Sideboards, or there's box furniture, such as bookcases, tables. And once you understand how to make a box or how to make a frame, the rest of it's really, really quite easy. Why am I double gluing that one? What I'm doing here, in case you're wondering, is I'm double gluing. If you ever glue end grain, which is what this is, you'll find that when you put the glue on, it soaks into the end grain very, very quickly. And therefore, when you get a butt joint, which is end grain to end grain, it's not a strong joint because you really don't have much gluing surface. Nearly all of it's been sucked into the grain. This grain, and any timber, end grain, all it is hollow fibrous tubes. Now, it doesn't matter if it's mahogany or pine or ebony, it's all the same. It's just hollow tubes. And when you put moisture on it, the tubes will absorb whatever you put on there. So what I'm doing here, this stuff, by the way, those that are new to the channel, is what I prefer to use as glue. It's hide glue. It's an animal extract protein, and it's very, very simple to use, very effective, and in many cases, from a furniture maker's point of view, it's better than the glues they have on the market now, which are super, super strong, because if I make a mistake with this at all, I can just put a heat source onto it, whether it's a heat gun or in some cases a tea towel with boiling water on it, and the glue will loosen and the joint can come apart, and I'm not going to wreck the joint. You have a look at antique furniture, especially chairs from the 1950s. They're rickety you can just put a bit of heat on there, pull the joint apart, put some of this in there, sash clamp it up together, and your chair's good to go again. Whereas the new glues, and there's nothing wrong with them, I mean, new glues do have their place, they are so strong that if you try and pull a piece of furniture apart that's been put together with new glue, you'll break the timber before you can break the glue joint. So, getting back to what I'm doing, by putting this glue on the end grain will suck up the glue and absorb it, then the glue dries, so when I actually go and glue these together as a unit, the second coat of glue that I put on won't be absorbed into the end grain, and therefore I'll get a much stronger joint. Oh dear, where are we going? Let me catch up, I've been dribbling, haven't I? Oh dear. Come on, cut some wood. I'll cut some wood in a tick. Your camera work has come a long way. Did you learn? Yes, as I said in the stream last night, if I'd had to pay someone to teach me all that I've had to do in the last few weeks, it would have sent me broke. Mind you, it wouldn't take too much to send me broke, I don't think. But anyway, yeah, and it's the same as woodworking. You learn it yourself, you know how to fix it down the track. Oh, whoops, here we go. And this, by the way, this process is called double gluing. Hey, Costa, Maitreya, I'll show you. I'll show you something. Speaking of Costa Rica, wait a minute, let's see if I can find it first. Oh, where is it? Oh, don't tell me I can't find it. Oh, oh, there you go. There you go. That's one of my favourite coffees. What's that? There you go, one of my favourite coffees, Costa Rica coffee. Lovely stuff. Oh, no, it's not rum and coke. Ah, dear, oh dear. Are you worried that kids these days won't learn artisan crafts since you can buy cheap crappy IKEA stuff? People seem to care about quality. Look, I think that's true. I think in a way that's true. But having said that, with what is going on in the world, currently I have a few friends, not many, but a few, that own woodwork machinery shops and also timber yards. And they say they cannot keep up the supply of orders for machines or timber. And what this pandemic has done, I think it's given people pause to, they can't do what they normally do, so therefore it's activated the creative gene in them, because you can't go out and do what you normally do. You're stuck at home and you have to do something that's going to occupy your mind. And what they're finding is, and I don't have any empirical evidence of this, but just through talking to people, they're finding the great amount of joy and pleasure that they gain from being creative. Now, that doesn't just mean woodwork. For some people it's cooking. For some people they're learning a musical instrument. For others it's sewing or knitting or writing, art. And so I think in the long term, people might come back to what was classed before as cottage industries, because you can't just go out to the shops and get what you need. you're going to have to make it yourself. I've got to make another table to go by the side of my bench because this equipment, when it's all run up, I have to run off a laptop. At the moment, the laptop is in a cabinet that's below this screen. So I've got to bring it up and have it there. I could go and buy one, but no, I'll make one. And I know Susie, because of what she does, has been asked by several people, can you teach me how to knit? Can you teach me how to sew? Because they might start off because they're bored and then they find they enjoy it. And the demand for handmade stuff seems to be going through the roof. I know in Australia the demand for Australian-made products has increased, tenfold. It really is quite astounding. So in answer to your question, I think that people will come back to the handcrafts. I've got to laugh. Those of you who know my grandson, Anthony, the other day, because we homeschool him and his brother, and that's been another spin-off, I guess, from lockdowns, because it was school was on, school was off, school was on, and we just thought it was going to be much easier if we can get them a routine. It was a bit hard on Sue and I to start with, but if we can get them into a routine, they do school from this hour to this hour, and then they're not, school's on, school's off, and what have you. And I said to him the other day, I said, mate, why don't you learn? We've got a blacksmithing shop. Whoops, we've got a blacksmithing shop. Go down there and learn how to be a blacksmith. Oh, I don't want to do that. Well, what about the wood turning shed? Go down there and turn a bowl. No, I'm not interested. Well, come down and make a bit of furniture. No, I don't want to do that. And then Sue said, well, you started making a quilt, finish it. No, you don't know. This is from a 16-year-old. You don't understand. Nobody is interested in what you and Papa do. No one cares about metalwork. No one's interested in woodwork. No one wants to do sewing. I said, okay. Would you like to cook tea tonight? Yeah, why? Well, I don't know. What are you going to cook tea in? Well, saucepan. No, there's no metalwork, mate. No one does anything with metalwork anymore, so you can't use a saucepan. And where are you going to sit to eat your dinner if you do cook it? Well, I'll sit at the table. No, you can't, because the table's made out of wood, and no one's interested in making wooden things. Oh, that's not fair. So, are you going to go out tomorrow? Oh, I might. Why? Well, what are you going to wear? Oh, just my clothes. No, you can't wear clothes because you don't reckon anything to do with fabric or sewing is worthwhile because no one's interested in that anymore. And he sort of calmed down after that. But it's true. They might not be interested. I think what it is, it comes back to what I said before. They don't want to fail because you've got all this. No, I'm not going to go down that track, but you know what I'm talking about when you get an award because you turned up. No, you've got to actually do something. And everything's too much of an effort. But I think eventually they'll realise that the effort is well worth it. I think it's, there used to be a speaker I like, Calvin Coolidge. No, it wasn't Calvin Coolidge. He was the Prime Minister, wasn't he? President. It was someone, I forget what his name was. But he used to say, and it was, I guess, an American expression because I hadn't heard it before, but he used to say, the man who chops his own wood is twice warm. And that's true because when you're chopping the wood, that warms you up. And then once you've got the chopped wood, you go inside and you can have a fire and that warms you up. And I think that's the lesson there. You learn how to do something, you get pleasure out of the process, and then you also get pleasure out of the use of what it is you've just made. I'll get back into the chat in a minute. Can't believe I'm actually doing some work. I know I'm not cutting wood, Ken, but this is just as important. just for you, I'll cut some wood though. What I'm going to do is, this is my patented, well, it's not patented, I suppose, but my process of these bee boxes. But what I will do is I'm going to do a video on how to build a basic native beehive from the, what I like to call, the Bible of Australian stingless bees, which is this book here. And I'm very happy to say I can call Tim Hurd, or Dr. Tim Hurd, a friend of mine. He lives reasonably close. And I'm doing some TV shows later on too for Australian television. And we will be building a bee hotel. Now I did one, or Tim built the hotel. I merely prettied it up. I put a pitch roof on it and some chamfer boards down the side. And it was just amazing. I was at his place last week, no, the week before last. And it's been there for about 2 months. And the different bees that are living in this bee hotel, just a staggering. So I suggested to Tim we do a TV show, and I'll go around to his place and get him to talk about why you need certain dimensions and what are good things to put in it. And then we'll come back here and we'll actually build one, and I'll put it outside in the yard, and over time we will see it populate. So as you can tell, I'm into bees at the moment. They're just fantastic things. Okay, where are we? Let's have a look. Oh, hello, Daniel. Greg Saunders. Saundo, how you going, dude? Lovely to have you on the show. My bestest, my bestest friend is Buddy from way back. Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, just for you, Saundo. This will give you a laugh. Oh, I'm sorry, we're digressing here, but this is... So, there you go. Ready? What does this remind you of, Saundo? I'm not telling anyone. All right, mate. I want to get down and see you, but we'll see how we go. Lukey's moving up here. So I don't know if I'll get down there, but we will see. I must have to go down to H&T Gordon or catch up with Jeff Hanna at one stage. So I'll come down and call in, mate, and we'll go and have Chinese. How's that sound? Good. Oh, look, I was going to go on chat and I started doing these again. Wait a minute. I'll finish this. Are you laughing? I can hear you laughing from here, you mutt. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Na-da-bum. There we go. I'll do the other end of that in a minute. Oh. The other thing, I'll just get back to that comment about making things from machines, Julian. Yeah, if you're doing it by hand, you can arrange the grain in a pleasing manner. But if you've got a CNC machine or some sort of other robot, it doesn't see the grain, and it just plonks things together. I remember I had a workshop once and I asked someone to put a panel in a door, and it was crown cut, which is, you get the grain going on top of it like that. And I said, mate, could you just put that panel in the door? And they put it in upside down, so the grains actually went down. And I said, oh, mate, you put it in upside down. He said, well, what's the matter? It's in. You only just wanted the panel in there. Yeah, but some things look right and some things don't. And some people don't care. Oh, I've nearly finished these. So a machine won't do that. I've smiled more in the past few minutes than I've smiled all week. And he hasn't even... That's good to hear, Ken. Thanks for that. Oh, dear. Oh, keeps jumping. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum. 3 monkeys. Surprising how narrow people think. Don't connect the dots on how things are made or what it takes to do things. My kids are the same way. Yeah, it's true. Did Trevor just jump in? Trevor, g'day, mate. Oh, dear. I saw a post on Facebook. I can't remember which one it was now. But I looked at it and I thought, it's got to be Trevor's. And sure enough, Trevor and Gary, it was a good one. I forget what it was now. What was it? Oh, crikey. No, can't remember. Doesn't matter. Now, where are we up to? As a 23-year-old, this is at ya. As a 23-year-old, I find so much knowledge in someone like you. Mate, I've forgotten more than I can remember, I tell you. And I wish I could remember what I've forgotten. I've been doing something in so much detail for years, almost like someone young and sit down with you and write. Oh, that was a good quote. That was a good quote, and I can relate to me grandkids on Facey this morning. You remember when your grandparents used to tell you how things used to be, and you just switched off when you were a kid? And now you're older, you say, oh, I wish I'd written that down. Oh, it's lovely. But in all honesty, whatever I do, it's my journey. What you do is your journey. I think too often we look at people and say, oh, if I'd started a company and called it IBM, I'd be successful by now. Well, no, not necessarily. You know, if I'd come up with the name Beatles, yeah, I'd be right. But no. A lot of it, look, a lot of things are luck, but by the same token, there's another saying I love, and the harder I work, the luckier I get. The thing is, you have to start. It doesn't matter where you start. There was a great quote the other day. I love these quotes. And it was, your past doesn't, your past doesn't reflect your future, but your past is a great way to start. Great place to start. Yeah, I love that. And we can all change. If you want to, you can change. But the thing is, most people don't want to change. They want things to change, but they don't want to change. Therein lies the problem. Oh, I'm getting old now, aren't I? Therein lies the problem of society today. No. I'm over here at the bench and I didn't click it over. Hang with me, I'm just getting the rest of these. There you go. Now, I've worked out, and this is something for you, if you're going to go into a production environment of whatever type, work out what is the most practical and workable number of units for you to make at a time. With me, these V boxes are 9. So if I make 9 boxes in a batch, it works out quite well. 6, it takes just as much time to make 6 as it does 9, but 12, it's too many. I've got too much componentry around and it takes too long, and my back starts to hurt when I'm leaning over the saw doing 12. So I've settled on 9. So there's a little hint if you want to get into production of anything. Work out what is the most economical way. Because of the way I make these, there's a certain amount of tooling that has to be put in place. For example, some of these cuts I do on a normal saw. Yes, Ken, I will cut something. And other cuts, well, for example, these miters. The miters I cut on a normal saw, but these trenches here and these trenches here, I use a dado. But this trench is a different size dado to this one. So there's a lot of tooling around. And if you're going to spend, 10 minutes changing a blade to do 3 things, it's not worthwhile. So you'll come up with a number that works for you and, stick with that. Oh, where are we up to? Oh, back's starting to hurt now, I'll tell you. Oh, g'day, mate. Haven't seen you on for ages. Lovely to have you with us. Oh, I'm impressed this stuff's still working, and I'm doubly impressed. Oh, yes, I have. I was going to say I haven't put any glue on it, but I did. I had a great big blob of it on there then. Oh, dear. Age doesn't make wisdom. Experience, it certainly does. But it's good to have wisdom at an older age because then you don't waste time making the same mistakes. Although, what did I do the other day? There was something. I forget. Oh, it was these things. I was cutting them and I thought, oh, this is... when I was putting them together, that's right. Oh, it took me 8 boxes and then I all of a sudden remembered on the 9th one the easy way to do it. So, I've written it down. I can't tell you where the piece of paper is that I wrote it down, but I know I wrote it down. These will be ready to go tomorrow. Oh, where are we up to? Ken, right, good to see you young face. Well, that's good. Yeah, I agree with that, Ken. Great to see the younger people in. Oh. Ba-da-bum. Ba-dum-bum. Oh, I wish it wouldn't keep going so quickly. I wonder if... Oh, look at that. I got to take that off. Glue on there. Ah, dear. Are we that far back? Oh, no, I'm not that far back. I'm 6 minutes back. That's 7 minutes. That's not bad for me. Now I have 12 horses, which includes 2 draft. Oh, that's what I wondered. Yeah, are they rescues? Great stuff, John. Great stuff. Mate, chase them around the paddock for a bit. You're guaranteed to sleep then. Metrail, what do you think about plywood? I am thinking about using it to practice and also maybe easy projects to learn, as wood is kind of difficult to get. Hey, if that's all you can get, use it. There are differences with plywood, depending what you want to make. I use a lot of plywood, particularly when I use veneer, because I think it's more stable. But if that's all you've got, just use plywood. The only thing to be aware of is if you're using hand tools, plywood will blunten your tools very quickly because the glue in plywood isn't kind to metal. But if that's all you got, get in there and have a go. Oh, isn't that nice, John? Campbell, g'day. Yeah, again, Vinny, pine is good, but it can also be soul destroying, depending what pine you use. In Australia, we've got a thing called radiata pine, and it is horrible. It is really, really disgusting. I've got someone that comes around and does wood turning, or learning wood turning. And I started them off, I think, with camphor laurel, which is very, very friendly. Then we moved into some maple, or Queensland maple, it's not American maple. which was, yeah, it's not too bad. And then we did some pine and just turned a rolling pin, and she hated it. It was horrible. It wouldn't cut cleanly. It was inconsistent in its growth rings. And I think had this person started with pine, they wouldn't have come back for a second lesson, because it's just horrible. It doesn't plane nice. It doesn't do a lot of things nice. It's cheap. It's fast growing, but that's about it. But there again, if you move into, say, hoop pine, hewn pine, slash pine, what other pines are there? I don't know. Norfolk pine, they're lovely. So it depends. But if that's all you've got, use it, because it's the muscle memory as well that is important of going through the process of doing woodwork, rather than having perfect wood all the time. This stuff's amazing. Look at this. These two colours here. Exactly the same timber, but the colour variation is extraordinary. This is Western red cedar, which I make my boxes out of, and it's lovely to work with. Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to sit down. Oh look, I'm so pleased everything's working. I might have to see if I can get a plastic cover like you can get for keyboards to go over that Mini Pro though. Okay. Oh, 2 lots to go, so I'm going to sit down because my back's killing me. Oh! Here we go. What have we got? Oh. About the wife singing. Oh, that was it. That was it, Trevor. About the wife singing. The cartoon was, there was this old codger sitting out on the veranda in his squatter's chair, and it said, "My wife's practicing her singing and I'm sitting out here so the neighbours don't think I'm belting her." Oh dear, oh dear. Oh. Where can you get one of those purple? Well, the overalls, the aprons I make myself, and the purple shirt I got from Lowe's for $5. And I'm at that stage in life, I don't care about colours. I just go whatever's $5. So I'll walk into a River store or a Lowe's menswear store, and whatever they got for $5, that's what I'll buy. And I don't care what they look like, because I'm married, I've got a wife, I've got a family, and my dog loves me, and I don't need to impress anyone. That's a great place to be, I'll tell you. Ah, I feel like the internet is bridging the gap between many generations, and everyone's sharing this, because I agree with that too, Ads, yeah? Oh, you're a brave man. You're a brave man. And she filled you up with medication too, Trev. That's terrible, mate. Vinny, before YouTube, if you wanted to learn a skill, you had to know or find someone to teach you. It's on demand, and that's fantastic. Well, that's good. Not a blip. Yeah, I thought there was a blip there. Anyway, there's only been one. It was real bad before. It might have been when I was hitting it. I hope I'm over 60 and also play video games. Oh, yeah, oh, that's what I bought Susie for Christmas. this old school arcade console. It's got 1,660 games in it. It's got Frogger, Galactica, Pinball, Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong, Jet Fighter, Pacific Attack. Oh, it's got all these great ones. And it was really interesting because the grandkids, they love, right? They're up to all this new age stuff, Fortnite, and I don't know what the new ones are. I just know Fortnite because that's what they play. Oh, and Assassin's Creed, is it? Or whatever. And they were mesmerised, absolutely mesmerised, and just playing old school. You know, old school's when you sit down, you got 2 dice and a Monopoly board in front of you. But anyway. Oh, and then I bought some dominoes for them for Christmas too. They quite enjoyed that. They sort of eventually got the concept they had to pick a domino up and actually move it themselves. So it was good hand-eye coordination and motor skills. Oh dear. Oh, I scroll through this and then all of a sudden it goes ka-chunk, big jump. I wonder, oh no, I haven't got that keyboard here. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh. How did you cut those dados before table saws existed? You would use a dado plane. Either, hang on, wait a minute. Well, I got one around here somewhere. I don't use this one now because I prefer my H&T Gordon. Where is it? Where do you get it? There's me. Billy Davis cabinet. Billy, if you're on, mate, I will get around to finishing that one day. I can't find it offhand, but there's a plane called a Stanley 45, which I do have, but I don't know where I've put it. Oh, here we go. Here you go. Look at that. Oh, crikey, it's heavy too. Oh. Okay. This is what you would cut dados with in the 1800s or 1900s, definitely. Let me just... And it comes with different cutters for different widths. And then you would just set your plane up using the fence. I quite like using this, and I do use it on occasions for different things. And then we've got new things. Hang on, let me put that one away. Over here. Oh, this is a very new dado plane that's made by H&T Gordon, Australian company, all handmade, all the brass is hand machined, the screw threads are hand cut, and it's hand fitted. So that's a dado. Or the other thing you could use, oh dear, would be another form of dado plane. And then you just run that up and down. And that will give you the dados. So there's all sorts of things. If the power goes out here, it doesn't matter, I can still work. So I hope that answered your question. Hi Steve, it's been a while since I've caught you live. Stephen, that is so true. It's been a while since I've been live. Oh, Brian, not a good picture in my mind. Young Tango, Steve, can you tell us what these boxes are used for and what they would look like? Yeah, I've got one up here actually. Wait a minute. Oh, well, here's one that I haven't. Have I finished? Oh, I think I've finished this. I don't know. Wait a minute. There you go. Oh. These have just got to have a couple of things put in them. I'll turn that around, and if we go here and here. All right, so that's the native bee boxes. So there's your little hole there for the bees to go in. And, oh, got a bindi back in my sock saver. So they go in there, and the idea is, well, it's not the idea, this is how it works. The bees go in there, and then they populate in here and build their brood. Let's see if I can get a bit of a... There we go. They build their brood in there. I'll show you a picture of a brood in a minute. Then the next stage is a brood extender, and this should have 2 slats across here, and that sits there, and then it's got an inspection plate on there so I can actually see the bees as they work. And then the top part here is called the honey super, and they will eventually fill this with honey. The idea of the 2 boxes, I've got the splitter here, have I? I don't know. Oh dear. No, I'll use a chisel. Because the idea of the 2 boxes is when these boxes are filled, you can then split the box, and the brood will be in 2 halves. You'll have half there, and then you will also have half in this box. Still getting used to these cameras. And then you put this part on a new base, and then you put a new extender on this base, and you have effectively created another hive. So you've got 2 hives. At the back, oh, little bin. I haven't put this one in yet, but in the back there is also a little hole that goes in here, which is a vent hole, so it doesn't superheat. They're built to an exacting size. The hives that these are based on is called an oath hive, which I think was developed in 1980s. And it's actually 8 litres of volume, and that's how they build their brood, which is not like a normal honeybee hive. There they are there. Good looking chaps. This is the style of hive that I'll be building live, and it's just following the directions that Tim has in his book. That's just a standard hive with no honey super, so you won't get any honey out of that one. And then this one here has got the brood, the extender, and the honey super, inspection panel, and the struts, which I'll put in. See what else we got here. I don't know what that one is. It's got a double honey on the top. But that's how, when it's filled up, that's how it looks. But that's what we will be doing. You can do all sorts of different, actually, it looks, that's at the front of Tim's place, yeah. There's all sorts of different shapes you can do, but I find that if you just stick with a normal shape, people are more inclined to buy them, which is good. So I hope that helped, Delta, or Tango, if I use your first name. Oh dear. I'll take some video of one of the hives I've got out there, and I'll put it in later on. Oh dear, but they're just gorgeous little critters, and they work, absolutely. I had a swarm the other day, and it's incredible. There's this great big ball of bees, and they stand there, and if you're, this particular case, I thought they were a rival faction coming to try and take the hive over, but they were actually males that lived in the hive, and there's could be up to 10,000 bees in a hive that size. And there's just this big ball of bees, and I'm standing between them and the hive, and you got your hand up like that, and you go like that, and it's just like a school of fish. They all move. You put your hand down, they'll come back. And as soon as I stepped out of the way, in fact, I'm going to show you a picture of that. As soon as I stepped out of the way, they just came in, and they were tripping over each other. Can't find my phone. Oh, here we go. They were tripping over each other to try and get back into the hive. Oh, there's some boxes that I delivered last week. But look at the colour in them. I mean, that really dark. It's all the same timber. I'd love to be able to make a lot that dark. Where's this one I'm looking for? Yeah, I don't know if you can see that too clearly, but I don't know if that's, whoop. Yeah, they were all just falling over each other to try and get in. It's absolutely amazing. And then I did have a video here of a swarm, if I can find that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can see that too clearly. But that was just a swarm around a termite's nest in one of the trees in the backyard. It's amazing. Anyway, that's it. I'm not the expert on bees, that's Tim's job. I just like doing woodwork. I'm making these at the moment. I'm going to cut some timber up just for you in a minute, Ken. Oh, look, pine's okay for chopping boards. Any timber's good for chopping boards, providing you clean it afterwards. It just all depends, you know, what you've got access to. I'm way back in the chat, so I'm going to try and catch up now. What? You just got to get into wood turning, Andy. That's it. Just play. Get a bandsaw first. I think I'm there. That's it, am I? No, there we go. Oh, have we got a highness in? Oh, it's all right, Ken. You get used to it. I got pockets in these. Look at that. See, I got pockets. There you go. Got a hole in this one, though, where I dropped the heat gun and it caught on fire. I wasn't wearing it at the time, I might add. This keeps jumping. Why? Yeah, I haven't seen a highness for yonks. We'll have to see if we can track her down. Oh, it would be interesting if you and the Wood Whisperer got together for a video comparing new age versus old age. Ah! Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I tell you what, John, the 55s now, they're beyond me, mate. They're like these broadcast decks. I don't mind the 45s, I don't mind the 40s, I don't mind the 41s, or the 040s. Still no socks, Trevor. Oh. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Yeah, no, I would learn it. Not a good look, no. Trev, can you refer to them as jandals or flip-flops, not thongs? You're upsetting people. Oh, that's good, Julian. Yeah, it's amazing how getting out and just doing something does help lift that cloud and keep the black dog away for a little bit. That's good, Julie. I'm pleased I can. I want to get on there and do more of this because we all get it. Believe me. Do companies that make saws and tools reach out for advice on how to make them better? No. No. They do reach out and want me to use them, but there's very, very few that I'll actually use for several reasons. I've got my favourites. Yeah, well, I've got to saw wood or go to the chat, so I'll go to the end of the chat, then I'll actually cut a bit of wood. Do you want me to hand saw it or do you want me to use a drop saw? Hey, Leonard, thank you from Vancouver Island. Welcome. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, that's true, men troubles. Sometimes, unlike a year, depression can have 15 months. But no, look, if we can talk here and it helps out, mate, terrific. Okay. I'll just finish doing these and I'll cut a bit of wood. Oh! Oh. What do you want, Ken? Do you want hand saw or do you want drop saw? I know what I'd prefer. But I don't care. I don't care. Because I've got to cut some wood up for these boxes. Then I've got to go up to the hacienda. And see what's happening up there. See if they've turned the dishwasher off. Oh, that's the other thing. Now we're on the dishwashers again. What's the problem with emptying the dishwasher? Oh no, we can just take stuff out of it. Yeah, but what happens when you put the next stuff in? Well, we use it each day, so it should be empty by the end of the day, and we just put it back in. Grubs. Well, instead of changing your sheets, why don't you just flip them over? Same thing. Or don't wear new socks, turn them inside out. Just change the right foot and the left foot. There you go. Oh, I'm so pleased I got that. I think I've started to actually do stuff. Okay. Last, well, they look as if they've been done. This side hasn't been done. Ah, they haven't been cut. Look at that. How slack's that? Look at that. That's what happens. I didn't cut the ends on those. So I'll have to wait until the next batch goes through and I'll catch up with that. Because you often have misses like that. I've got a process that when I'm good, I don't mean good, I mean when I'm actually doing what I'm meant to be doing, I've got this process that one day I'll cut 6 bits of timber the length, and then the next day, hang on, let me just put this on. Here we go. Then the next day I'll cut 6 pieces of timber to length and I will bevel 6 pieces of timber. And the next day I'll cut 6 bits of timber to length, bevel 6 and then trench 6. And that way at the end of each week I ended up getting 9 boxes or 9 sets of this. There's 3 boxes to a hive. So that's 9 boxes, that's 27 individual boxes I have to make, so I've got 9 sets. And I find if I do that 6, 6, 6, it sort of works out okay. Oh, which I'm pleased with. Yeah, sticky, I've got to. Oh, that's good, there you go. That's something you won't find on any YouTube channel. Hide glue does not stick to the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. Good to know. I bet you I'm the only one in the world that's using hide glue with an ISO. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, where are we? Japanese chisels probably in Australia. I really don't know. I don't use them myself. I use just conventional chisels. I do use firmers or mortise chisels sometimes, occasionally a paring chisel. I'll show you a paring chisel. Here, here's a paring chisel. This is a nice one. I'm very, very lucky. I have friends that make tools, and one of them makes, I'm very lucky I've got friends that make tools, and one of them makes most extraordinary chisels. That's the paring chisel he made me a while ago. So yeah, I don't use them. A lot of people do like them. I like the Japanese saws, but only for fine detail work, that's for sure. How Sue and Bob got, mate, they're both getting older, slower and fatter, what can I tell you? Nobody tell her that I said that, all right? Because I'll be in the same boat as Trevor. You can have one or mate, I'll have the other. And we'll go to a desert island somewhere. Oh dear. Oh, thank you. Oh God, you brightened up my day and taught me a thing. Oh, isn't that nice? I'll cut a bit of wood. Popular, everything, quality counts. That's true, it does. One day I knew everything, the next I was 17. Yeah, I like that one. I couldn't believe when I was 17, my old man was the dumbest thing I'd ever met. He didn't know squat. 3 years later when I was 20, I was surprised how much he'd learnt. Here you go. One of the first power tools I should get in woodworking, meaning the ones I can use for simple purpose. If you're going down the power tool route, I would say, and I'm open to suggestions here, but I reckon a sander and a jigsaw would be the way to start. Get yourself a sander and a jigsaw and a drill. It's always good to have. Oh. Okay, just for Ken, I'm going to cut a bit of wood, then his day will be complete. Let me just get rid of that. I had to move my bin. For years I've had my bin that side, and now I've got a new scroll saw on that side. I can't use my bin. What am I going to do now? I think, I'll leave these here. It's Excuse me. I'll finish my coffee while I'm eating. What? That was gravity. See the special effects? Ha! You wouldn't believe it. That ant that was the star earlier, he must have got the fright of his life, the poor thing. I tell you what, he can travel, can't he? Where's he going now? He's just from appeared. Oh well. All right. Well, later on I'll pick those up. I've got to move this stuff anyway, and I'll finish my coffee. Yeah. Oh, it's like medicine, that is, cold coffee. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Let me just. I'm going to drop everything there. It's all happening. Oh. 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 Okay. It's a nice bit, isn't it? I'll cut that bit. Oh, oh dear. These that's stuck to the bench. See, I didn't have any paper there. Who said that I had a tidy floor before? It's not tidy anymore. Okay. Oh. Okie dokie. That's got a crack in the end, so I don't want that. That's all right. Just make sure that's square. I left my fridge open. Not much good. That's square, so that's good. I'm going to use a handsaw and a bench hook, and for that I'll get this up again so I don't wreck it. Oh, I think that's the battery I was looking for. So I'll put that over here. And while I'm thinking of it, I'll check the battery on this mic, and that's good. This is going to be cool because I'm going to try a different camera, and we'll see how we go. La da dee dee. See, I do use other glue as well. Here, tight bond. See, Andrew? Yeah, I'll give you a plug, tight bond. Ah, okay. All right. Now, this is if you're going to start out in woodwork, one of the first things you want to make is one of these, called a bench hook. Very, very easy to make, but has so many uses. And as you can tell, it hooks on the end of your bench. So I want this to be 280 millimeters. Oh, so for that, I've got to get a metric ruler. Oh, this one wasn't the one I wanted, but it's got to split up at two. Oh, that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to measure 280 mil, or 28 centimetres, and put a mark there. If I had my overhead camera, we could see this. Now I'm going to get a square. Put the square there. Whatever you're marking and you're using a square, it's a good practice to get into the habit of putting your knife or your pencil where you want the mark and moving your square up to it, rather than moving your square up, then putting your knife in. So this is much more accurate. And then what we're going to do is put a score down there like that. So I've got a score mark there. Hey, this is nice with these new cameras. And then we'll get a chisel. And on the waist side of the line, that's this side, because this is the piece I want to keep. This is going to be the waist side. I'm just going to run a chisel up there. So I've got my mark line there, and then I've run a chisel line up on the waist side. And that will give me a nice fence for my saw to sit in. Now, depending on what you want to do, I might use a Japanese saw in this one, or you can use a regular saw, it doesn't matter. I'll go half and half, there you go. Remember, with a Japanese saw, it cuts on the pull. So you pull back, it cuts, you push forward, it doesn't cut. And you cut square. And the way you cut square is you cut a lot of things. Now, I wouldn't be using a Japanese saw if this is a hardwood, but it's Western red cedar, which is extremely soft. And you'll notice I'm going from back to front, and then I'll take the middle out. And we're nearly through. There you go. And then we'll see how good I am. And we'll put the square on it. There you go. And that's how you can cut square, and you most likely see it square that way too. So we'll do it again, only we use a Western saw this time. I want the same size, so I'm going to put that on there, make sure it's parallel. Get a knife, mark down that side. So this is a piece I want to keep. This is a piece I want to keep. This is a piece I'm going to chuck away. I've got a knife mark down there. I'll put, I'll get me bearing chisel for this because it's wider. I'll run a chisel just up that knife line. Like that. And I'll actually clean it, clean that cut with a knife like this. So I didn't go deep enough before. Okay, so there we've got a line that I'm going to cut, and then there's a groove on this side, which is going to be the waist side, so I've got a nice fence from the saw to go up to. So that one we did with a Japanese saw, this one we use a Western saw. Doesn't matter, you can use a back saw, you can use a rip saw. This one I'll use a rip saw, this is a Lee Nielsen one. And this cuts on the push. But start with come back, couple of times just to start your cut, and then you'll notice that the saw's up as I'm cutting. As I get into the cut, I start to drop the heel of the saw down into the cut. And now I've got the whole blade cutting. Again, I go down the back, on the front. And then take it out of the middle. And use the whole saw. So often I see people and they'll cut like that. Use the whole saw. And have your finger, I don't know if you noticed, but that finger is pointing in the direction that I'm sawing. If you hold it like this, you tend to go all over the place. You do that, you get accuracy. Then when you come into the end, release the pressure and just let the weight of the saw do the cut. Nearly through. That way we get minimum tear out. And again, so there we go. There you go. Pretty darn square. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. So there you go, Ken. You happy? I've done some cutting. Oh, dear, oh dear. Hey, T-Bone! I just saw. Where'd you sneak in? Still streaming, must have had your voice. Mate, I did. No, I'm catching up on all the streams I haven't done. So they're the start for the B-Box project that I will do down the road. Oh, let me have a look. How far are we back? Good hand tools first, a good pencil helps. Hey, you got that right. Derek, g'day, mate. Oh, thank you. You like that? Yeah, well, I'm running all 850p HDMI cameras now. Oh, dear. It's good. It's good. Although, where can we go? There you go. So that's still a bit grainy when you compare it. But it's nice to know that I can flick about. And hopefully, I've just ordered Ethernet hubs and cables so I can run the overhead at the top, which again, I think I'll do that through a GoPro, but it'll still be 850p, 50 FPS, which I'm good about. I'm happy. Can I use a router to flatten a piece of wood? Depends how, well, the short answer is yes, but then you've got to quantify it by how big's the piece of wood and how much time do you want to spend annoying your neighbours doing it. Don't know what it's like down your way, Steve, but I had to turn the air. Mate, I've had the aircon on all stream. I'm running about 22 degrees because it's raining and it's hot and it's quite unpleasant, as it were. Oh, that just went ta-da's with me too. Here we go. Actually, with this keyboard, this one I'm going to have to upgrade this thing because there we go. I can do it. I couldn't scroll down, but it's good now. A hand plane electric one can be, but yeah, no, that's true. And again, it depends how big the wood is. I use routers to flatten tree stumps and cutters make a jig. Yeah, that's true. Yes, you can need a big jig. Don't need the compressor on at the moment. Thanks very much. Oh. How much of an investment would you say is reasonable to get started in woodworking non-professional? Of course. Hammer and nail. There you go. Hammer, nail and a screwdriver. It depends what you want to make. It really does. I'm looking forward to doing this new program where I will take you step by step. Literally, you start making a crate with a hammer and nail. And then we introduce another tool and then another tool. And very, very soon, you're in a situation where you've got all the basic skills to build furniture. So I'm looking forward to that. Time is just what I've got to work on. You know, for some people, $100 is a lot. For other people, $10,000 isn't a lot. So it really depends what it is you want to do and what sort of woodwork you want to do. I said, because many give up after the first fall, coming from raising 5 kids. Oh. Oh, T-Bone, I found you. How's it down there, Daryl? Is it you been able to get any work yet? Yeah, listen, Panda, we all think where we went wrong, and it's not until they get to our age they realise we did all right. But 9 times out of 10, we aren't there to hear that. I agree with that too. Cheap is sometimes twice the price of quality. Yeah, if you get a plane that doesn't work because it's cheap, you'll hate planing. If you get one that'll cost you a little bit of money, but it works, you'll love it. Oh. Have you had any serious accidents with hand tools? Oh, not really. I've sliced myself a few times. That's mainly with a chisel, and it's always been my own fault. Carving chisel, the worst one I ever did. I slipped. I was doing a cabriole leg, doing some carving in it. I had the chisel there. I was holding it with my finger there. The chisel slipped and sliced me pretty deeply, but I didn't need stitches. And it was my own fault. So, you know, touch wood, I haven't had any, that's interesting. I haven't had any bad accidents, but if I get tired, I don't work. In the old days when I used to enjoy a beer, I didn't drink or work. And you just, you're careful with what you do. I think I've been more concerned about ruining the job slipping with a hand tool than I have about cutting myself. Yeah, oh, I don't know about that, Adra. Yeah, you get a saw and a table saw or a router or a bandsaw. They're pretty darn sharp. The thing I do say about hand tools is with a hand tool you generally stop before you're all the way through the limb, whereas a power tool, yeah, it can take the appendage off real quick. Where are we? Yeah, look, number 4 planes, there's a lot of them around. Personally, those of you that know me, I don't really like the number 4 plane because it's trying to be everything, and in doing so, it doesn't become anything. If you really, 3 planes, if you want to get into furniture making and you're dealing with timber and you want to do it by hand, 3 planes, a block plane, a number 3 and a number 7, and you'd be good to go. If you can only afford 2 planes, get a block plane and a 5.5. You're welcome, Ken. Please, we could help. Look, it'll go on YouTube. I am seriously thinking, I'm seeing a chap next week, of doing one-on-one courses, which I'll still be doing YouTube, still be having fun with streams, but I want to do a course where if you want, and it will cost, you will see the episode and then I'll be in your workshop with you, and while you're doing it, I can see what you're doing and then I can show you how I would do it. But that's a little bit down the track. It's just, let's face it, with everything sort of going on with the world. As I said, things are changing, and our attitudes, Theo and I had a good talk about this the other day, our attitudes are changing to what we're doing. Why does it keep doing that? I don't want that. So yeah, we'll see. Stepland, g'day from Wisconsin. This is Steve saying g'day back at you from Brisbane. Yeah, look, don't think you got to go buy new gear. Good second-hand stuff's on the market. No work? Oh, bummer. Mate, you just have to start streaming. I can set you up with the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. I know how to do them now. Has a video on hand planes. I watched it before on the Bible. I wish I had. Hang on, Steve. Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, Pandy. I did. Hand plane I bought has 2 depth settings. They also did side to side, which is a pain. That's true. Bloke I knew worked all his life as a fitter and turned and never. Yeah, he told me about that one trip. Anyway, that's it. I'm starting to feel a bit weary. I've got stuff I've got to do up in the other shed. Oh, look, a lot of mine are second-hand. That's second-hand, that's second-hand, that's second-hand, that's second-hand. That one's second-hand. Yeah, the rest of them I think are all new, but I had second-hand planes for years. It wasn't until I, started doing streaming and what have you that I started getting new planes. But anyway, that's it. Well, I'm pleased. I'm sorry to say, Stebblin, but this is it. I'm going to pull the pin. Got some interesting things happening along the way. I've got a diorama I want to do with resin. I've got involved with that. I want to see if I can set this up in the wood turning shed. So I've got a resin bench set up that I can do resin work with, and I've got a wood turning shed so I can do that. Might bring some blacksmithing into it later on. These hives, that'll be the next stream I'll do, is building a hive from scratch, which, I don't know, it could be in the next couple of days. I can't give you a timetable because I'm sort of at the mercy of what goes on around the house. But if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. I want to hit 100,000, then I feel I've actually done something with my life. It's worthwhile. Hit the bell and then you get notifications when I'm on, because I don't even know when I'm on. Sometimes I have to check on the phone to see if I'm streaming. And, oh, there I am. That's why I'm down here. But it's all good. If you want to know anything in particular, or you've got a woodworking situation you're stuck with, you'd like to know, Panda with your dovetails, let me know and I'll do a stream and we'll just cover those subjects plus anything else that comes up. I've got jobs I've got to finish off and the shed's reasonably tidy at the moment. Yeah, that's about it. I think I've run out of steam. So that's it. Thank you everyone for your company, your patronage, your understanding, your enthusiasm and your patience. We're finally back and now this thing's working quite well. I'll introduce a couple more cameras over time and we'll go from there. But in the meantime, this is Steve pulling the shed door down and saying thank you all for being there and making it worthwhile. Remember, no, I've forgotten my sign off, isn't it? This is Steve pulling the shed door down and saying remember to keep it sharp, but more importantly, keep it safe, look after yourself, be kind to each other and do whatever you have to do to get by. Be creative, enjoy what you're doing. And I look forward to having your company in one of the workshops again very, very soon. In the meantime, that's it. God bless you all. Catch you later on. Bye for now.